Everyone clapped for him. They gave him the title, the room, the stage. I stayed quiet. But I saw everything. They didn't know the deal they were celebrating was never actually theirs. And when I walked away, it wasn't just me they lost. It was everything. My brother James has always been the favorite. He was louder, older, the kind of person who walks into a room and somehow becomes the main character, even when no one asked him to be. Our parents loved that about him. Leadership energy, they called it. He has a spark, they'd say. Me. I was the one behind the laptop. The one in hoodies, analyzing numbers. The one who got straight A's, built our first website, landed our first clients, and got forgotten at the dinner table when he told a joke that flopped, and they still laughed. I wasn't bitter, at least not at first, because I believed effort would matter. I thought results would speak louder than charisma. Spoiler, they don't. Not in my family. The idea came to me during lockdown. Everyone was pivoting. I saw an opening in the supply chain for local sourcing, something that could save mid-tier brands thousands every month. I built the proposal, did the back-end work, ran the data, then brought it to James. Why? 'Cause I thought maybe this time we could win together. He was charming and I knew we'd need that. I could build it. He could help sell it. He smiled when I showed him the plan and said, "Let's do it." We shook on it in my parents' kitchen. That handshake became the foundation of the company. We launched 6 months later. I stayed up till 3 a.m. handling vendor logistics. He stayed up until 1 a.m. networking on LinkedIn and at bars. I onboarded 12 clients. He wrote the captions announcing it. But to the outside world, we were co-founders. To my parents, James was the visionary. Didn't happen all at once. First, it was little things. He started saying my company in interviews. He'd forget to mention me during panels. He began scheduling strategy calls without me. Noticed, but I didn't call it out. Thought he's just caught up in the hype. Eventually, he'll remember how this started. Then came the new investor. Big brand. A potential $1 million joint venture to help us scale with full distribution rights. They were serious. I led every meeting. I built the revenue projections. I negotiated every line of the proposed contract. They even asked me, "Would you consider being the face of this?" And I politely declined, because I knew James needed that part. And I trusted him. Stupidly. 2 weeks before signing the $1 million deal, my parents threw a family dinner. Everyone was there. Cousins, aunts, uncles. Wine was poured. Toasts were made. Then my dad stood up with a smile and said, "We have an exciting announcement." I didn't know what was coming, but James did. He smiled, almost smug. My dad looked around and said, "As the company grows, it's time to step back and let real leadership emerge." Froze. He continued, "Starting next quarter, James will officially take over as CEO." Just like that. No vote. No discussion. Not even a warning. I looked at James. He didn't look at me. He just raised his glass. Everyone clapped. I wasn't fired. But I wasn't informed anymore. No one said it, but I was being erased. James took meetings without me. The team copied only him on major updates. Even our parents stopped asking for my input. I felt erased from something I created. Until one night, sitting alone at my desk, I realized something. They couldn't take everything. They could have the title, the stage, the flash. But they didn't own the relationship I built with the investor. They didn't understand the system I'd created. They didn't realize I never gave anyone else access to the deal binder. And I never put James on the contract. Picked up the phone. Called the investor contact. We talked like always. Warm, respectful, professional. Then I said, "You should know there's been a shift in internal structure. James is now CEO." He paused. "Oh, will that affect our agreement?" I said, "That depends. You were negotiating with me. But I'm not involved anymore." He said, "That's disappointing." I stayed silent. He said, We'll revisit this when the leadership feels aligned. And that was it. 2 weeks later, the deal was officially pulled. James freaked out. He blamed the market. Then he blamed me. I didn't answer his texts. He called, I let it ring. He emailed, I didn't reply. He went to our parents. They asked me why I was letting this happen. He said, I didn't let anything happen. I just stopped holding it up. And that was the truth. Without me, the deal didn't exist. It wasn't revenge. It was reality. They tried to offer me a new position. VP of Strategy. No real power. I declined. I told them, you made your choice. This was the result. James had the title. But now the team didn't trust him. The investors didn't believe in him. The pipeline froze. Clients started dropping. Not because I told them to, but because James couldn't answer the questions I used to handle quietly. I didn't destroy anything. I just walked away. And watched what happened when they realized what they'd pushed out. Everyone backed my brother. 'Cause he was louder. 'Cause he looked the part. Because my parents wanted to believe in the son they always favored. But when it mattered, when a $1 million deal was on the line, they needed me. And they found out too late. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't take them down. I just let go. And that was enough. If you've ever been the one they overlooked, the one they underestimated, the one they didn't see coming, subscribe, like the video, and share it with someone who needs a quiet win. Because sometimes the best revenge is saying absolutely nothing and letting the loss speak for itself.